Hello and welcome. Last week I played another Dub Techno Liveset. A lot of people asked me how I prepare my sets and how I manage to keep everything under control. So in this video I want to show you my Ableton setup and talk a bit about my synthesizer setup and also talk about the controllers that I use and the overall philosophy behind all of this that makes it possible for me to play a 1 hour show and still be very relaxed and in control of everything. Yeah, I also got COVID, so my voice might sound a bit funky today, but thanks for asking. I'm rather fine. Last 2 days were not so cool, but yeah, things brighten up from day to day. So yeah, I can't do nothing all day, so I decided to throw out a few videos about music stuff. So let's dive right in. Let's start and take a look at the Ableton setup. I have 10 tracks here, and the first 2 are from the analog Rytm. So all the drums are routed to these 2 channels. You can see that I have the kick drum on a separate channel, which means that when I play some drums, you can see that the kick drum is on channel 2 and everything else goes to the other channel. I could use a lot more single outputs from the analog Rytm to have all the drum sounds on separate channels, but this would make everything much more complicated, and I try to keep the setup simple because in a live set situation it's more important to be in control of everything rather than having 12 channels with each hi-hat and shaker on a dedicated channel. It only makes stuff much more complex than it should be in a live situation. The next good thing about having only 10 channels is that the rest here, channel 3 to 10, are all the sounds that I used in this live set, and they are always on one page on the push console. I'm using the push console to control the levels of the individual channels, and I also can immediately see which clips are active. Most of the sounds are prepared in clips, so when I click on them you see that there's actually some MIDI information there, but there are also some empty clips here where I just put in a name of a patch, and there is also a program change that changes the patch on the synthesizer immediately when I activate the clip, but I still have to play the notes on my own, so this gives me some room for improvisation, and yeah, it's also more fun to play some stuff on the keys live instead of just having everything set up in the MIDI clips before I start the set. Each scene represents a track in my live set, so everything in the first scene is track 1, everything in the second scene is track 2, and so on. Of course, each of the clips use a MIDI program change, so when I change or select the clip, it instantly changes to the right sound on the synthesizer. In this case, I use the Rytm for all of the sounds. Let's listen to them. So that was from the first track. And here we can see that there is a send, and I automated the send so that the last note would get a different delay sound. So you see I have different delays over here, and this one is a bit faster. I also used the Rytm for some slower sounds like this one. That sound was from the third track. You can see that I was using the Rytm keys, the Valve M and the Valve TI a lot in this set. And there were also some additional sounds coming from software instruments. And you can see that first track used this clip here. It was just some background atmospheric sound. And this one here was, I think, yeah, this was a sound from the Arturia Jupiter 8 plugin. Then I had a pad sound from Omnisphere, and also I was using some sine bass from Operator, because for some reason the cleanest sine wave sounds that I can get are from Operator. If you're using hardware, it's always difficult with distortion and other nasty things. With a setup like this, there's really nothing that can go wrong, because by having everything listed in the scenes, I immediately know which clips belong to which track. Also, I limited myself to 8 tracks, so I don't have to browse left and right and look for the right clips all the time. So if I want to start the last track, track number 6, I can just hit the scene start button for scene 6, and then immediately everything is running that I need for starting the 6th track. A lot of important stuff in my live set was happening on the left part of the table, which you could not really see on the live video, so I want to show it to you now. I have the analog Rytm from Electron, and since I had 6 tracks in the live set, I used 6 patterns, and each pattern was playing the drums for one track. So let me play some of the sounds. You see that now I have only channel 1 with the kick drum playing, and then I could add some more sounds. And again, I'm following a similar approach than with the clips in Ableton. I'm trying to follow the same layout of the drums, which with each kit and each pattern. So I always have the kick drum here on channel 1. I always have the hi-hat sounds on these channels, and usually some glitchy percussive sounds on the middle row. Next to the Rytm, I have the EC4 from Faderfox. This is a MIDI controller that I got a few weeks ago, and it's fully customizable, and it also has a display, and you can put in all kind of names and labels for the stuff that you control. It's also possible to set up different groups. So as you can see, I have different setups for different tracks, and also for the global settings here. So let's see how this actually plays out in the live set. Let's pretend I have some music playing, and then I can press this button to filter out all the low frequencies. Then I can increase the feedback of all the delays. And then go back to normal. How does this work? When I press this button, and these are all push encoders, you see that I can switch on and off an equalizer on my master channel. This is very easy to do. You can just activate the MIDI learn function by hitting Command M, hit the on-off button, and then press the key on the Faderfox, and then you have immediately access to this parameter by pushing this button. With the delay overdrive function, it's a bit more complex, but also a lot of fun. I was using this delay here on the send, and when I increased this button, you can see that the feedback is going up here, but also the brightness. So I can control 2 different values with one knob. This is actually nothing special about the EC4, but instead I used the mapping function of the effect rack. So in this effect rack, you see that I'm controlling 3 different parameters with one knob. So the output is also reduced, because when the feedback is building up, the whole patch gets a lot louder, and to compensate for this, I was reducing the output volume. So by turning this knob, I can increase the feedback ratio, filter some of the low frequencies out, and reduce the overall volume. This is very convenient. And so I can always play something and play with my filter settings and the feedback settings and go back to the normal setting. Some other nice stuff that I can do with my master control group is that I can click on this one and open a compressor. And after that, I can adjust the level of input or the threshold level of the compressor with the same knob. So I have this one to open the compressor, change the setting, and then I can close it again. And same goes here for the limiter. And this here is my panic button. It always stops all the clips, of course, except for the analog rhythm, because it has its own sequencer. This is it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you soon.